back, Illumineers, to the Lorcana Rundown. I am Silver, and today I am going to hit on my 3 favorites so far Emerald spoilers for Into the Inklands. Now, it's no secret, if you've watched basically any of our other videos ever since the game started, I have been Team Emerald. I have been part of the Emerald gang. It's my favorite color. I love the fact that it forces people to choose whether they actually want to swing into your things or not. I like the disruption that comes from returned hand effects and discard. It's great. I have a lot of fun with it. Sadly, this hasn't been a great set for Emerald. Let's face it, Rise of the Floodborn kind of left us behind. Yes, discard decks have seen some success, especially later in the expansion. Basically, people are getting really, really tired of playing Ruby's Amethyst, and that's why they're playing the discard decks now. I don't know why I did that voice. But yeah, you see Mufasa now, you see Emerald discard now, and that's largely because people are just tired of Ruby Amethyst. But hopefully that will all change come Into the Inklands. We've got some really, really awesome green cards that have been spoiled, and one of the ones I'm super excited about is Ursula Deceiver. She's an Emerald uncommon, so you're likely to hit on a couple of copies of her. She's an inkable 2-drop 1/3 body, so she's got a big butt for the ink cost, quests for 1 lore. But her ability, you'll never even miss it. When you play this card, chosen opponent reveals their hand and discards a song card of your choice. That fits in really, really nicely against, Steel Song, Ruby Amethyst. You want to get those teeth and ambitions out of their hands nice and early? There you go. You've got Ursula. She's your lady. It's not as great. It's not a true Thoughtseize. For anybody who hasn't played Magic the Gathering, that is a card that lets you look at your opponent's hand and choose any card to discard. But still, hitting a song for 2 ink, pretty useful. Plus, you can bounce her with Mim, put her back on the field, catch more cards if you think they might have the Be Prepared. Honestly, I see her as being more useful on turn 6 to try to hit the Be Prepared that before they drop it on turn 7. That's my personal idea. It'll also hit the Grab Your Swords that you know they're gonna do with Shift Tank. So Ursula, really a character I see myself holding in hand until we're getting to those critical turns where you're either going to be facing Grab Your Swords, Be Prepared, or early on Teeth and Ambitions, Let the Storm Rage On, things like that. Next up, for the Emerald Gang, we've got Morph, Space Goo. It's a Treasure Planet character. I love him. He's so goofy in the movies. The movie. He is an Emerald Rare, another inkable 2-drop. He's a 2/1 body who quests for 1 lore. So he's super, super vulnerable. He doesn't have evasive. He doesn't have wards. So you're definitely going to want to put him out and then have a way to protect him, because his ability is mimicry. You may play any character with shift on this character as if this character had any name. So he's an inkable 2-drop, universal shift target. You can shift Big Cindy onto him. You can shift Big Tink onto him, Beast onto him. Anybody you want can go on Morph. And he's super cheap and he's inkable. This solves so many of the issues that Emerald Floodborn have, because they're all uninkable. All of them. Maybe this will actually make Floodborn Bell playable. How cool would that be? Discard players, you'll have the payoff that we were supposed to be getting. But no, I am really, really excited to see an inkable 2-drop universal shift target. It helps all of the Emerald builds, whether you're running Emerald Amethyst, Emerald Steel, the Emerald Mufasa decks even. I mean, maybe there's a place for him in Emerald Mufasa. Honestly, that's probably the weakest spot I'd put him. Ruby Emerald could be interesting, though, come Rise Into the Inklands. But that's another video for another day. Third pick for the Emerald gang, we've got Milo Thatch, King of Atlantis. He's an Emerald legendary. Like I said, the legendaries in Into the Inklands make up for all of the lackluster legendaries in Rise of the Floodborn. They are so good. But Milo is an uninkable 7-drop with Shift 4. He's a 4/4 body. He quests for 3 lore. His ability is called Take Them by Surprise. When this character is banished, return all opposing characters to their player's hands. Yeah, it's a table-wide bounce. And it's opposing characters only. So, yeah. He's Shift 4, so you can drop Morph on turn 2. And you can shift Milo on like turn 3 or 4, depending on what you're looking at in terms of ink ramp. He quests for 3, which, you know, isn't huge, but when he's banished, and it doesn't matter how he's banished. He doesn't specify in a challenge. It doesn't specify when an opponent banishes this character. It's when he's banished. So you can banish him yourself. You can rush him in with, well, no, you can't rush him in with Mim, but you can hit him with your own Maleficent if you want. You can, you know, hit him with Teeth and Ambitions twice. You can smash him. You can use him, just swing into something. But when he's banished, return all opposing characters to their player's hands. One of Emerald's biggest weaknesses right now is it has no answer to a large board state on its own. This isn't ideal, but combined with the discard package in Emerald, there is the potential to clear their board and then just start ripping cards all over again. Imagine, if you will. We've got Milo Thatch out, right? They've got a board. We swing in with Milo. Then we cast a whole new world. Emerald Steel players, just think about that for a moment. You've just taken their board, put it in their hand, and then ripped it into their discard pile. If you've got a John out, bonus, now you're drawing too. That would ruin a lot of people's days, and I am here for it. I am here for that kind of disruption. And maybe I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Maybe I'm putting too much of my hopes on this card, but Milo Thatch has really got me excited for some of the builds we can do with Emerald. And I think having that universal shift target in Morph, being able to rip songs from people's hands, there's really a lot more. There's going to be a lot more options for Emerald than there were in Rise of the Floodborn. And then, of course, we have to remind you, even though it's not technically part of this rant, Fang, City of Rivers location. It's the Emerald Rare location, inkable 4-drop. Remember that one? Surrounded by water. Characters gain Warden Evasive while they're here. Yeah, that's helpful. And it's got 6 willpower. It's there to stick around. So our Emerald characters are going to be harder to hit. They're going to have a lot more repercussions for hitting them. And it's going to be so much easier to get those uninkable Floodborns out, just because you don't have to run the borderline useless uninkable shift targets to run them now. You can run Morph. And Morph is good. Morph's a cutie. And I will protect that little cinnamon roll with my life. You touch him, you die. Anyway, That's all for today's Lorcana Rundown. I'm Silver, and remember, Into the Inklands releases at your LGS February 23rd, 2024. Check it out. Most stores have their pre-orders live as of when I'm recording it. If you like what you saw, give us a like, subscribe to the channel, and check out our sister channels, Minis Rundown, Board Games Rundown, and RPG Rundown. Thanks, and good luck at release!